All right. Welcome back to another session. This is day 2 of the LTC number 8 on Sunday, actually. Here we have the second matchup with Azusa against Minsc. And no, it's not Minsc and Boo. It's Minsc, the beloved Ranger.
It's only Minsc.
It's only Minsc. And as you can hear, we have Stefan with us. Welcome
Hello,
back.
everyone.
Some time ago, you introduced your Grist variant on the channel.
Yes.
At home, playing some live games.
And earlier this year. And this was my latest venture to France, to Strasbourg, to be precise. Where I played the LTC tournament on Sunday.
Yeah, for the German guys, we are living close to Strasbourg, so it's quite popular that we go over there for a couple of events.
By far the easiest to reach bigger tournament.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah. So we always take the chance at least one of the 2 days. And here you are with your Minsc. When was the last time you played the deck? It's not the first time. You also played it in Darmstadt, right?
No, Christopher Wilhelm.
Oh, right,
I will shout him out again. He was the brain behind the deck. I basically just stole his list. He gave it to me, to be fair, because I was very impressed with his performance in Darmstadt, and I wanted to try it out for myself. And so I played in Strasbourg for the first time, actually.
Okay, but some practice ahead, or not at all?
No, who has the time?
Okay, yeah. Family business. Family business.
Family business, exactly.
I can see.
So.
But I mean, you played Slamford before.
Exactly.
Here...
It's another green-based mid-range deck with a combo finish.
Yeah, you have white instead of black, so the card pool is, in some aspects, is better. In some aspects, it's worse. As you said. So for everyone who's not aware, the deck features the Kiki combos. You play both Rectors, right? You play the Academy Rector to get, I think, Arena Rector in the end.
Rebirth,
Pattern of Rebirth, going for Arena Rector, which finds Vivian. And then
I think we get a chance to talk about it in detail, not too long in the future.
Okay. I have not watched the matchup yet, but I'm pretty sure you will get the chance to
I only remember parts of it. It's been a hot minute since we played, but
yeah, that's true.
I do remember some key interactions, and so I was on the draw this game, and I took a mulligan, and still my board is pretty impressive.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what these decks do best: play mana dorks and
try to develop the board.
Play to the board.
Yeah, exactly. So I would imagine from Azusa's standpoint, it's so usually these slamfoot mid-rangey games are not the hardest to win. You can find your Glacier Chasms or Maze of Ifs or whatsoever. In this particular matchup, it might be a bit harder because you can threaten with a combo every now and then. Like Devoted Druid is on field, and there could be a Swift around the corner going for infinite mana and a very big boo. Against Slamford, most often there is no combo that threatens you. But you basically, or usually you have the time to do the things you want to do and find some value lands, either going for big mana, going for some Eldrazi's whatsoever, while you're playing under Glacier Chasm and stuff like this. That's how I most often experience these matchups.
That's how I feel it too, yeah. And you see, despite my quite impressive board, he's still at 17 life, right? I'm nowhere near lethal, but at the end of turn, I managed to worldly tutor for the aforementioned Arena Rector. And here's where the fun starts.
Yeah, Arena Rector is a really cool card. I remember back then when it was released in what was how was the set called? It was not was it Conspiracy 2? No,
maybe
something with battle. Something with battle, I think. But it was released and people were like, how can we abuse this card? And some people tried it out because there's not, apart from Eugen, there's not really like this big Planeswalker you could bring on the battlefield with it. And then some people played it in control lists for some time. And eventually it got removed from lists because it's
just not good enough.
Yeah.
So here my opponent actually, while we were playing, said, okay, put his hands down and said, show it to the camera. So big shout out to him. He was a very good sport about it.
Yeah, you just comboed off?
Yeah, to make a long story short, with Minsc, you can use his ability to sacrifice a creature. If you activate it at sorcery speed for X equals 0. So you kill the Arena Rector, get the Vivian.
Vivian acts as a birthing pot.
Exactly, a birthing pot effect. Sacrifice the Minsc to get Felidar Guardian, sacrifice him to get a Karmic Guide. Who gets back Felidar Guardian? Who gets sacked again to get Kiki Chiki? That copies Karmic Guide, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah. Quite a not so old combo, but still very classic combo in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Felidar Guardian is, or Kaladesh is a couple of years ago already, and
probably old by now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Vivian is in particular is the newest addition to the combo package because you just have a second birthing pot, and that's also where you can go for the Arena Rector. But in a vacuum, like looking at the Kiki line itself, it's like the newest invention is Felidar Guardian, and that's quite some time ago. So
yeah, it's not really cutting edge right now.
If you think about other combos, you also run Devoted Druid, which got Swift. And back then it was Vizier of Remedies, which is not really the best card because outside of a combo you rarely have a use case for the ability, unless
just nothing.
In that fun fact, the day before when we played in that very tournament, I had a situation against Red Deck Wins where he had Soulscar match on field. And I actually made use of the Vizier. Yeah. But that's, as I said, that's once in 100 games against Red Deck Wins, so very rare.
So here we have very typical Azusa.
Yes.
I don't know if typical, but very strong start. There's Thespian Stage and Dark Depths already on board. There's a Glacial Chasm for the lockout, and I'm on 2 lands. So it's his third turn, and this time he's the one with the impressive board. I Enlightened Tutor for Survival, which opens up a ton of possibilities, especially as I have quite a bit of mana.
If I remember correctly, because I watched some parts of this matchup live, I think you play a Magus, right?
As we will see, I indeed do.
Just talking about the decklist, so that's an option. Here, by the way, Kiki in hand is always a bit problematic.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's why some people don't prefer the combo that much because, again,
you basically only have survival as a discard outlet, and you need to get rid of it.
Exactly, yeah. So here we see the Magus. That's a good card against Glacial Chasm, a good card against Dark Depths. So right in time.
Over the moon. I'm in a very dominant position right now. Survival in play, Magus of the Moon. My opponent's down to very few green cards, and what's the worst that could happen from here? Well, stay tuned.
The thing is, from that standpoint, I would think, well, maybe there are one or I could think about Archmage's Charm as an option to fight Magus. I think that's the only way to get rid of it. But
probably, yeah. The first of all, he gets rid of the
survival, which is fine. Yeah.
Because I threaten the combo kill too, because I have white, green, and black mana on board, and I can tutor for an Rector and play my Minsc and combo kill him. Not this turn, but in the near future. So very fine play by him.
Yeah, I think the Thrillback is quite a good addition to Azusa.
Yeah, it's both games. It really impressed me. I haven't heard much of the card before, but it did work.
Mm-hmm.
So he played an Oracle
Ooh.
and
Oracle
revealed
into 2
a
mountains.
lot of lands, but
Yeah.
that's all fine because they're all mountains. So now I need to find a way to get through all these buddies. And I don't have that much mana that I can just make a giant hamster, but I can make a fairly decently sized hamster.
That's true. I've never seen the Delighted Halfling foiling in pink sleeves. It matches the artwork very well, I just have to say.
Yeah, right.
I like talking of aesthetics. So here we have a 6/6. Yeah, you have
that's
to.
what I do. Yeah.
You have to respect it. I think you have to respect
it's not the world's biggest hamster, and at this point I still feel fine because Margos is on board, and that's great and all. But it's not the fastest clock you can imagine.
That is true. Yeah. Titania's Command on top.
There was something on top of his library. I don't know if it was a Green Sun Zenith. It was a Green Sun. So I saw the Green Sun Zenith, and I was also like, again, what's the worst that could happen? And as it turns out,
so is she going to search for a creature that could deal with your Magus?
No, it's far better than that. He searches for Woodland Bellow, which is big and blocks my hamster, which is fine, and he fights Good Swarm. And I have not. That was not my radar at all. Since the Nadu days, I have not seen that card played.
Yeah.
And the Oracle is still in play, and the Azusa is still in play. And if he just manages to flip a couple of lands from the top of his deck, which he does.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of lands in this deck, to be perfectly honest. There's 1. There's 2. All mountains, but Scoot Swarm doesn't care. So there's 3. And my board position went from very much winning to, okay, I'm just dead next turn.
Yeah, right. So fair enough to scoop here and just go over to the next one.
Yeah, and this is where the real game begins. The first 2 games were fairly quick.
Yep.
About 10 minutes each. We traded punches, and here I have a slow start. I probably took a mulligan. I mulliganed fairly aggressively.
Oh, there's a Rishadan pot. That hurts.
That doesn't help with the slow hand, but I managed to top deck an elf. But
that's good.
Still not much action to be had. He also doesn't have the fast start, but he's fairly disruptive with his Rishadan pot, which against the elf doesn't sound that good anymore. So he just plays his commander.
Yeah.
And gets on the board. More lands.
Yeah, Vimaya is not the worst land. You can also make use of that.
Yes, but in this specific case, my mana base is
very green.
Fairly fine. For green, yes. That will come back to haunt me. The mana base that I played in this tournament is low-key actually very terrible.
Okay.
We'll see that on a later point.
Okay.
At a later point, yeah. So I deploy Minsc and Boo,
which brings a better hamster.
Stronger Minsc.
Yeah.
I make a big hamster. I equip my hamster and I go to town.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, at this point, gotta love the situation, right? Minsc and Boo in play, that's almost never bad.
Yeah, exactly.
My
even with a skull clamp attached. I mean, there is not that much Azusa can do about creatures, except for preventing damage, as we saw last turn. We see a Realms Uncharted in his hand.
Yeah.
Cool card.
And we see, I don't know if you got this, the 2 cards he has in his hand without any tutoring are, again, Scoot Swarm and Oracle.
Yeah,
I don't know that at this point.
We also see All is Dust and Green Sun Sceni, so bunch of options.
A very strong hand.
Yeah, indeed. So what are you going to search here? Maybe something Ramunub Excavator, maybe?
I don't know if it's
Ramunub is Ramunub would be fine too.
Yeah, I think it's a Ramunub actually.
Is it? Okay, yeah, because he has like 1 fetch land in graveyard.
Exactly. He can cycle that one indefinitely as long as he can make land drops.
Yeah.
and it's gaining him life.
Yeah, which is
So
pretty good. Which is pretty good.
My clock is substantially worse if he gets 3 life each turn.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, so I was still very happy, right? Because I got Minsc and Boo, and he has a lot of lands. That's what Azusa does. But I have the better board. That's what Minsc does. So all is fine.
At that point, what you could think about is throwing the hamster, like sacrificing the hamster for
Prevent further abuse of the,
exactly.
the fetch land.
And I think you
graveyard.
draw 7 cards off of it, right?
Draw a lot of cards, and I'm fairly sure that is what I do for exact the same reason. I see this and I think to myself, it's putting such a damper on my clock, and it's ramping him into oblivion. There's something I need to do about it. But it's not easy for me because it also takes away basically all my board presence. So I go deep in the tank here. This match will take a while.
That's good. That's good. We have time. What else is there? How many removal spells do you play? Not too much, right?
No.
Like the classic ones, lightning bolt, swords.
Lightning bolt, swords, bowshots, chain lightning come to mind. Fury
Also,
and broadside bombardiers.
Solitude. Also,
probably
Solitude?
most likely solitude.
Yeah. And then things like prismatic ending, rather not.
No, no, exactly. And I don't have any of those. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been much of a complicated decision to be had. I just would have killed the excavator, but I can't.
But here we have
a Worldly Tutor.
That's well positioned up front of sacrificing the token.
Exactly. So right here, I already have the plan to sacrifice the token, and I want to draw the card I search for.
Makes sense, yeah.
And in my mind, there's only one card I am going to get here, and it's again the Magus of the Moon. Okay. Because I do not know about his Scootswarm or his Oracle in hand, so I feel like, okay, I lock this up. I killed the Remnant Excavator, still have my Minsc and Boo in play, have the Magus of the... Oh no! I figured I would... Maybe I've drawn it?
Probably, we will see.
We will see. I was certain I would end this turn with Magus of the Moon in play, but as I've said, it's been quite a while. Okay, but this line does happen. I draw a lot of cards, 7 to be exact.
Yeah, that's huge. That's absolutely huge.
Draw 7s are very good at Magic, if you didn't know. I can recommend.
Definitely.
So, you might have caught a glimpse. I have again drawn Kiki Chiki.
Yeah. Which you can discard in the cleanup step.
Which I can discard in the cleanup step.
So it's not too bad unless your opponent brings out Pit of Offerings, I think it's called, for example, which exiles 3 cards from your graveyard.
Grounds or something. I don't
also
know if you
that, yeah. There are a couple of options, I guess.
Yeah. So here I go deep into the tank again. I've got a full hand. And it should be 9 cards. So it's not guaranteed that I can discard at the end of turn. Because I do want to deploy at least something to the board, because I am the aggressor in this matchup. I do need to get things done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the inevitability of Azusa will do me in.
I was just thinking about, did he miss to attack Minsc and Boo last turn with Azusa? I think he did, right? Because you tapped the elf to equip the clamp and you attacked with the token.
He did.
He did attack
Minsc
and Boo?
No, I think he missed. He did miss that because his Azusa. That's actually that. If that is the case, that was a blunder that is going to cost later.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the line. Okay, I search for the reactor to have the combo potential, and then I Eldritch Evolutioned into the Magus because I did want to end this turn with the Magus of the Moon in play. It's just such a powerful card in this matchup. But if you take a very careful look at my mana base, that's what I said with low-key terrible, I have now 1 green mana.
But
And
isn't there like a second forest in your hand?
there might be, but what there isn't is any white mana for the Arena Rector I
That
just
is true.
suited.
Yeah, that is true.
So, and here my opponent shows that he's a real gamer, has the Scoot Swarm, plays a land, has the Oracle, plays another land, and now at this point I went from feeling very good to feeling not very good because I need to formulate a plan. I need to make sure that I either deal with all the Scoot Swarm tokens and the Scoot Swarm itself, or win in my next turn. Because right now he can only attack for 4.
Oh, you missed
his next turn.
the trigger, right? From Minsc. Because you drew the card already?
I believe I did. No, you're completely correct. This is not the only thing I will with Minsc and go with this turn. You already see I wasn't planning to win with damage anymore. This was just my mind was also, but it's definitely a missed trigger and it's definitely a mistake because having more bodies is certainly not a bad thing. But to me it was clear I needed to win next turn, and that I needed to do it with Kiki Chiki still in my hand.
That's rough. That's rough.
That and no white mana. So
yeah, and no white mana, right?
so here I was racking my brain because Arena Rector is not a legend, so I cannot use Delighted Halfling to cast it. So step 1 needed to be I needed to get rid of my own Magus of the Moon, and very conveniently, Minsc does that.
You have a kind opponent?
He
no,
got
you
it,
do
and
not.
then I said, "You just forgot it," and I was like, "Yeah, obviously, I just forgot that."
So yeah, maybe trading the Magus for Oracle and drawing 2 cards again.
That is what I'm going to do because I felt like killing one of the Scoot tokens would just not do enough.
No.
And the Oracle, he's been very good at finding land on top of his deck, so I just wanted to prevent that. Now I can play Magic again because that pesky Magus of the Moon is gone. And here's the second thing I missed with Minsc still chilling there without any loyalty. I was deep in my own world of trying to find a win in my next turn.
Fury would definitely be good here against the 3 tokens, or 4 tokens actually.
That was a thing. I don't know if I had a chance to get it, but I was also very afraid of a crop rotation because that would make the Fury plan real bad.
Against what?
Crop rotation.
Yeah, against what?
And I try to Fury his tokens. He crop rotates in response and generates the same amount of tokens.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if there's another way to instantly put lands into play in this deck, but it was that was what I had in mind, and I tried to play around it.
Yeah. I think only if the Talon Gate would be on field.
Right, there's a land that lets you do it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I played the Arena Rector that I already searched for,
and now you have the forgotten token. Woo! So in the end, it didn't matter that you forgot.
Who comes back this turn?
Yeah,
it
exactly.
didn't matter at all. But yeah, it could have mattered, and still keep track of your triggers, guys. They are important. For
anyone who wonders why you sacrificed Minsc, since you pot into Felidar, you have the option to, like, you don't need Minsc. I always want to say Minsc. You don't need Minsc as a sack outlet anymore.
Yeah.
And here you choose to untap the land. It's not that bad. It says untap target or flicker target permanent card. So you cast your white unearth to get back the Magus, which seems to be a good plan.
which it seems like, oh wow, that worked out really fine. What's your problem? I still have only very limited white sources here, and I needed to cast the Arena Rector, and I needed to cast the Helping Hands, and I needed to cast my Commander, and so it was really finicky to get the mana to work here. This game I really felt it, but in the end I was able to blink one of the white lands to make the last white mana to cast the Helping Hand to get back my Magus, and finish the turn with Magus in play. So my opponent makes land drop, casts the Realms Uncharted. There's the Scavenger Grounds and a bunch of good lands, but they're still all mountains.
Yeah.
So I decide that.
I was just about to say, it looks like he has an answer for Magus. The way he designed the piles almost looks like there is an answer.
It looks like it, right? And he makes just a ton of more Scoot tokens.
Yeah.
And we we try to do Bath with exponential growth, and it's a lot, but with the
I think in his position, I would have sacrificed the Skewed Swarm plan to cast the Aweless Dust. Because then you have a reset of core.
He has Aweless Dust in hand. Wow, this is wild.
And then it's like you have it. You can deny, like you wipe your whole board except for Skull Clamp. Your reset is insane. Well, he has still Realms Uncharted in hand to search for at least 2 lands next turn. You know, there are a bunch of piles you can come up with. And then maybe like you just cast Azusa for 7 again if you need. It's not a big sacrifice. Of course, you lose your Skewed Swarm, but at that point, it doesn't win you the game. So you have to sacrifice it in order to not lose against your combo here. And yeah, maybe that should have been a thing he should have considered.
Yeah, that's probably the second major blunder. The first one was not attacking the Minsc, which was the loyalty was necessary to sacrifice my own Magus that one turn.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done that. And not casting the Aweless Dust seems kind of insane in this situation. Yeah, wow. Okay, I guess I dodged the bullet here.
I mean, I think he had 7 mana without casting your Realms. I'm pretty sure, because afterwards he played 2 lands, he had 5 mana, so he definitely had 8 mana. Because
he should have, right? Yeah, I think he should have. Okay, well, that was my game.
Yeah.
I now feel way more lucky to have gotten away with it than I did at that point. But I'm pretty happy with how I played the last one. The first 2 were a wash. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. But the last game I was actually pretty happy with, and that was my round.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool showing, I think. I can definitely tell you guys the deck is super fun to play. If you want to play some Naya every now and then, you should definitely pick it up. It has a solid mid-range plan, and it also has a solid combo plan, so give it a try. I think you made top 8, so we can link the deck list here, or you can just send me. I have the deck list anyways, never mind. I will just link it, and you can have a look, and maybe make your own thoughts about it. With that being said, thanks for being with us, Stefan, today.
Yeah, and thanks for having me.
I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and we see you in round 3. Bye-bye.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, as always.
Take care. Bye.
Over there, guys. Bye-bye.